interior designer Denise Simons. We're with interior designer Denise Simons. Interior designer Denise Simons had to choose just one room to transform.
Designer Denise Simons agreed to take on the challenge of creating a formal outdoor dining setting.
So amazing what a small space can turn into. It can really have dramatic effect.
This is a sconce, but the way that I softened the look is to create these lampshades. Really easy to do.
It's unbelievable how you could take a bland room and just by a pop of color, you can create a whole new environment. And space planning is really important.
Now let me show you this. This is a pot filler I've used over the stove, as well as some pull-outs on the side. This is actually a spice rack. I created this 14-foot library armoire out of old windows out of my garage. You know, if you've got old windows like I did with the panes, this is perfect. Or you can do what I did and gather some flowers. So votive candles and roses, and you are ready for your party.
This was the other sitting room. You know, we were talking about space planning. We floated the sofa in the center of the room. Then we could bring in these wing chairs so that now we have a sitting area. Bringing in the lighting allows it to be functional so that you can read, and if someone's watching the television, you have another space to sit.
How many times have I heard I would love to live in an old historic home without the maintenance? Well, I'm going to show you how you can have the best of both worlds, old world charm and new world technology. Very popular, it's very elegant, and pendant lights in themselves are hard to find. I mean, this is 26 inches.
Right.
It can go in so many areas of your home. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. I know that you've enjoyed the show and you've been inspired by Joe Bonamassa.
We really wanted it to be warm and inviting. So what we needed to add to this very neutral palette was a punch of color. So you'll see throughout the home we've added the brilliant reds and all the textures.
We know you love to see home makeovers, and it's such a great way to get good ideas for things that you can do in your own home. We're at Sharon's house, who's had a great makeover done by interior designer Denise Simons. And we're going to talk about the big difference that color can make and how changing the arrangement of the room can really make a difference as well.
It's unbelievable how you could take a bland room and just by a pop of color, you can create a whole new environment. And space planning is really important.
All right, well, let's take a look at some before pictures of Sharon's family room. What was going on in this room?
You know, this room was very drab. We really didn't have any color on the wall. The space planning, the furniture itself didn't have any color to it. We needed new upholstery. We did not get new pieces, but we wanted to recover them and also just spruce it up with some new furnishings like window treatments.
I think you're going to be amazed when you see what a transformation has happened in this room. Gosh, the first thing you notice is the color.
You know, that's what we wanted, was a pop of color, and it really was inspired by the piece of art over the mantle.
Okay, tell me about that.
Well, this was in the hallway, and I said, Sharon, can we please use this? The colors were fantastic. It just had kind of a whimsical, playful, you know, just like her personality. So I pulled the peridot green out for the walls. We also pulled in the black, and all of the fabric was pulled from the colors in this piece of art.
That's nice. I'm amazed when I look at all the trim in the room painted black. That's not something that traditionally people would think to do, but it makes such an impact.
It is so dramatic, but it also gives it a sense of warmth because we wanted to bring the scale of this room. It's so big, we wanted to bring it down to a livable level.
When you look over at this side of the room, the couch used to be there and there was this huge high ceiling over it, and the scale just looked weird.
You know, it did. Be careful when you place small pieces of furniture on a large wall. With the space planning, bringing in this ready-made cabinetry on the larger wall, this is our largest piece in the room, it makes more sense and it gives us more options with our furniture arrangement.
So this is really one of the only pieces of furniture that you bought.
It is.
Is it? Wow. And you took the other cabinet, which was in the corner before, and just gave that coat of paint, and it looks like a new piece.
You know, we really did this on a budget. We also took the upholstery that she had. You know, it was really good, sturdy pieces of furniture, but of course the fabrics were out of date. And I wanted to choose, and this is a good tip for the viewers, think about getting a solid, a stripe, and then a pattern whenever you're choosing your upholstery.
This pattern is great, and it's just a slip cover that goes over the existing wing chairs, and it looks fantastic.
You know,
I love the lighting here too.
It brightens the whole area. And this was the other sitting room. You know, we were talking about space planning. We floated the sofa in the center of the room. Then we could bring in these wing chairs so that now we have a sitting area. Bringing in the lighting allows it to be functional so that you can read. And if someone's watching the television, you have another space to sit.
I love what you've done with the window treatments too, because I think a lot of folks don't know what to do with a door that opens out to a patio. Tell us how you planned this.
Well, you don't necessarily have to put a rod all the way across. That's typically what people feel like they need to do to fill up the space. But what I wanted to do here is, these are called swing arms. They are stationary, but they brought an architectural element. We've got the beautiful flower motif, it's iron, and also the stripe. This brings in every color of the art piece, again, or inspiration. Now, you will end up between the door and the ceiling with kind of a vast area. So put an architectural element. This is actually just a shelf.
It's fantastic. I tell you, you've done an amazing job in this room,
you.
and really didn't have to buy that much.
No, we
just
were
a lot
on
of
a
changes
budget.
with
That's
paint
right.
and rearranging, and it looks
Absolutely.
great. Tell you what, you can tell Denise is a terrific interior designer. If you need some help, if you'd like her maybe to advise you on some redos that you might want to do in your own home, you can go to her website to find out more. It's DeniseSimonsInteriors.com. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.